There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records, plural, 2 of them sold 5 million. I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I, with M, because like with Nori was...
50 has been known for stirring up trouble and getting in the feuds with other celebs. I mean, whether it's Madonna, Floyd Mayweather, or even his own son, the Queens rapper never shies away from sharing his controversial opinions. We already said in our last video that 50 is a rapper anyone would think about messing with. He's even gone toe-to-toe with some of the biggest names in the industry. Want to know why it's a mistake to beef with 50? Let's break it down for you.
That's when I start saying crazy stuff, big, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? So he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
Jay-Z. 50 Cent and Jay-Z have had this thing going on since back in the day. It wasn't a full-blown feud like 50 had with Ja Rule, The Game, and Rick Ross, but there was definitely some tension between these New York giants during their primes in the 2000s. It all started when 50 Cent dropped his track, How to Rob, back in 1999. He was just signed with Columbia Records waiting for his album, Power of the Dollar, to drop. To get some serious attention, he decided to diss a bunch of more popular rappers in the game at the time. Busta Rhymes, Lil Kim, Mace, Will Smith, DMX, Big Pun, Slick Rick, Master P, Diddy, and of course, Jay-Z were all on his name-dropping list. He wanted that clout back then, and he definitely got it. Now, Jay-Z being who he is, didn't take too kindly to 50 Cent's jabs. He fired back subliminally on his hot, some like it hot, with lines like, go against Jigga, ass is dense, I'm about $1, what the f is 50 cents? Ouch, that had to sting a bit. While many artists responded to 50 Cent's provocations, Jay-Z never had the chance to properly retaliate due to his own conflicts with Mobb Deep and Nas. 50 Cent faced setbacks after being dropped from Columbia Records following a shootout incident in which he was shot 9 times. However, he made a comeback in 2002 with a mixtape titled Guess Who's Back, and subsequently signed a deal with Eminem and Dr. Dre on June 20th, 2002. Recognizing 50 Cent's rising star, Jay-Z instructed his artists to flood the streets with new music before 50 Cent released his debut album under Shady Records. Following this directive, on February 6, 2003, 50 Cent released his highly acclaimed debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying. It achieved phenomenal success, selling a remarkable 872,000 copies in its first week and holding the record for the largest opening week sales for a debut hip-hop album. Things really started heating up when 50 Cent blew up worldwide with albums like Get Rich or Die Trying and The Massacre. He even managed to dethrone Jay-Z on Forbes Hip-Hop Cash Kings list in 2008. Now that's gotta hurt the ego a little, right? In that year, 50 took his dominance to a whole new level. He not only ruled the charts, but also overthrew Jay-Z on Forbes' list of 20 biggest hip-hop earners. 50 Cent claimed the top spot with a whopping 150 million, while Jay-Z had to settle for number 2 with a mere 82 million. But hold up, let's not forget that he also made a cool 100 million from selling his steak and vitamin water. Talk about stacking that paper. This led to a time when 50 had this whole album showdown with Kanye West, but he felt like it was really a battle between him and Jay-Z. Why? Well, at the time, Jay-Z was the big boss as the president of Def Jam, and Kanye happened to be signed to Def Jam too. 50 Cent believed that Jay-Z, being the president and all, put all his weight behind Kanye to ensure he came out on top.
It just shows you how big this music is, and you take the 2 biggest rock stars in hip-hop right now, put them together, and we're gonna do numbers like you never seen before.
All right, now, y'all had to have listened to each other's album. Kanye, do you have a favorite 50 song on the Curtis album right now?
My favorite joint, y'all, you little haters, you like bloggers.
It seems Jay had been feeling uneasy about 50 Cent's reign in New York City for quite some time, so he went all out to make sure Kanye had the upper hand. As the release date approached, 50 Cent realized the game when both he and Kanye agreed to do joint appearances on BET. Now, 50 had plans to bring Eminem along, but BET told Interscope he couldn't have any guests. Interscope was like, fine, Eminem stay home. But here's the kicker. On the day of the show, guess who pops up? Jay-Z, performing with Kanye. Clearly, Jay-Z had pulled some strings to get around the no guest rule, while Interscope Records just let it slide. Seems like Jay was more motivated, huh? But hey, time heals all wounds. 50 Cent and Jay eventually patched things up. In a recent interview on The Breakfast Club, 50 Cent confirmed that they're cool now, good terms and all that jazz. But we can feel the energy is a little different in real life, and not what is portrayed in the media.
I'm deciding to f your life up. Rick, bro, I'm gonna f your life up. For fun. But now that I got your address, if we go, we'll be on your doorstep, Ricky.
Rick Rick Ross. One of the weirdest beefs 50 Cent had back in the day was with Miami rapper Rick Ross. It's gotta be one of the pettiest beefs we've ever seen in rap history. Now, the origin of their feud is kinda murky. According to High Sobriety, it all started with some unpleasant interaction they had at a BET event in the late 2000s, which then spilled over onto the internet. There was an event where 50 Cent apparently gave Rick Ross the wrong look, but 50 straight up denied ever even seeing the guy. In 2009, during the heyday of Maybach Music Group, Rick Ross decided to take shots at 50 on his track Mafia Music. He started taunting him, saying stuff like, "I love to pay your bills, can't wait to pay your rent. Curtis Jackson, baby mama, I ain't asking for a cent." And he didn't stop there. He went on to say, "Burn the house down, man. You gotta buy another. Don't forget the gas can, you jealous stupid." Now, those lyrics may have seemed vague at first, but they were actually addressing a domestic violence court case that 50 Cent was involved in back in 2008, related to his child's mother. So, of course, 50 Cent wasn't gonna take that line down. He immediately fired back with his song Officer Ricky, "Go Ahead, Try Me," where he referred to Ross as officer and highlighted his past as a correction officer with the South Miami Police Department, and thus, the back and forth began. They took their feud to Twitter, where it became a never-ending cycle of insults and arguments. It got to the point where even the public couldn't quite figure out what the actual issue was between these two, but things escalated further. In 2015, during one online mess, Rick Ross's ex-girlfriend and mother of his child, Lastonia Leviston, accused 50 of intentionally leaking a sex tape to her to spite Ross. Legal battles ensued, and 50 was eventually ordered by a judge to pay Leviston a whopping $7 million. Billboard reported that 50 even went on to sue his own lawyers, claiming they messed up in debunking the whole thing. And to add fuel to the fire, 50 Cent alleged that Ross himself was behind the leaked sex tape as a part of a scheme to turn the tables on him. And hey, the feud didn't stop there, man. They took it to Instagram, where they've been relentless in insulting each other. And you know 50, he never misses an opportunity to clown Ross for any slip-ups he's had, whether it's that controversial date rape lyric that cost Ross his deal with Reebok, or his legal case with Wingstop, or even posted a photo of himself with Rick Ross's baby mama as a jab. You can bet 50 will be there trolling him every chance he gets.
Right? Yeah. Like you run the car, run him over in the car. Oh shit, that's some. Now it kind of changed a little bit. Like when somebody from the barbershop like punch you and knock you out after that, like you be knocked out, like the guy from the barbershop do that, it changed. And they be like, Suge's outside, and everybody be like, yeah. What do you want?
Suge Knight. So here's the story. Back in the 2000s, Eminem caught wind of 50 Cent's Guess Who's Back mixtape and immediately saw the guy's potential. M wasted no time and signed him to Shady Records, a subsidiary of Dre's Aftermath label. And once 50 had that deal, he was determined to burn his name into everyone's memory. Things take a wild turn when Suge Knight decides to make a grand appearance at the video shoot for In the Club. And boy, he wasn't alone. Suge arrived in his trademark fashion, rolling in with about 30 Mexican Bloods by his side. Talk about making an entrance that turns heads. As you can imagine, all hell broke loose. People scattered in every direction, trying to avoid any potential trouble. But guess who didn't budge an inch? You got it, 50 Cent. While others were scrambling, he stood his ground, cool as a cucumber. When 50 and Suge finally came face to face, he casually greeted him with the simple, "What's up, man? What you want to do?" Some rumors claim that 50 actually went to his car and grabbed an Uzi for protection before approaching Suge Knight. Now, that's a move that demands serious nerves. But when 50 spoke to Suge, the notorious figure simply gave him a long look, took a drag at his cigar, and strolled away. No big confrontation, no drama, just a puff of smoke and an exit. A second minor altercation happened at the Bible Wars in LA. Suge came strolling by their trailers with Irv Gotti. 50 apparently sent James Cruz to go pick up 15 knives for the whole crew. He came back and passed them out, and that was about all the excitement that went down. Believe it or not, these were the only encounters between Suge Knight and 50 Cent, mainly because Suge was locked up not too long after this. Suge was sitting behind bars while 50 kept climbing his way to the top of the industry. These are prime examples of how 50 never flinched or let intimidation get the best of him. While others cowered in fear of Suge, he stood tall. Maybe it was that fearless spirit that made Suge Knight think twice about causing any more trouble for 50. If you want to know more about Suge and his current affairs, check out our other video on how he's scared to come out of protective custody while being locked up.
And I'm in jail for life when I never hired him to kill anyone. So, you know.
Oh, gee, Jimmy the Rat.
Jimmy Henchman. The beef between 50 and James Jimmy Henchman Roseman originally began when 50 publicly dumped the Game from G-Unit on air. Henchman was managing Game at the time, and this interview at Hot 97 studio even turned into a shootout between 50 and Game's crews. This beef between Henchman and Fifth escalated so much and was so notorious that even P. Diddy tried to end it. Diddy, the head honcho of Bad Boy Records, apparently tried to squash the beef between G-Unit and the music mogul back in the day. This was before the terrible shooting that went down in 2009 with Lodi Mack. During the murder trial in New York, a witness spilled the beans on Diddy's attempts to bring peace to the table. The beef was supposedly now connected to a sit-down with P. Diddy, a drive-by shooting, and even another hired shooting to mess with the hip-hop heavyweight Chris Lighty, 50's manager. Now, The story goes that the feud between henchmen from Czar Entertainment and G-Unit under Lighty hit a rough patch in 2006 after some heated argument at the Apollo Theater in Harlem. Diddy, being a mediator, tried to arrange a peace conference between Jimmy Henchman and Lighty. Well, let's just say things got a little out of hand. Lighty ended up mushing Henchman in the face. Yep, it got physical. Diddy had to jump in and break it up. Roseman, apparently not happy with the face mushing, ordered someone to shoot Lighty in the leg. But guess what? The person didn't go through with it. Roseman then decided to hire other guys to lure and kill someone associated with G-Unit. Chris Lighty was eventually found dead on August 30th, 2012 as a reported suicide. You can bet 50 believes Henchman was behind the murder. There were more assassination attempts on G-Unit. Tony Ayo commented on Vlad TV on the paperwork. Henchman and them were supposed to come through, but I guess their guns jammed. But we had God on our side, and they backed out of the hit. But we had straps too.
On the paperwork, Henchman and them niggas supposed to come through, and I guess they gun jammed, but we had God on that side, and they backed out on the hit, but we had straps too, and that really was really it.
You said they had silencers?
Yeah.
Finally, in 2011, the news hit that Henchman got charged with arranging the murder of 50 Cent's associate, Lodi Mack. Roseman later got slapped with a life sentence because of this incident.
Now, you brought up Jimmy Henchman.
Yeah.
Going through a tough time is the understatement. That's about as much as I could muster up to say about it.
No matter how you look at it. Look, I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens. I don't like Supreme. I don't like Eminem. But he lived the way he actually projected himself. His lifestyle is consistent.
He was true to it.
He never ratted on nobody. Just like that. You see what I'm saying? And Jimmy's a different kind of guy. He told everybody. He solved the last 10 years of criminal activity in New York City in 10 minutes. The DA said, hold on, chill out, stop, boy, you're gonna make it like that, I don't even work. The DA asked him to stop. Stop, man. You're gonna make like we're not even working here.
Their beef is a wild story of violence and legal troubles in the hip-hop world. It's crazy how things can escalate like that, but that's how life is in the fast lane. If you like this video, be sure to let us know, and we'll cover more 50's beefs and trolling of anyone who gets in his way. Until then, you can check out our other videos on the topic. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed, y'all.